Well, Hoboken, New Jersey is a step closer to cracking down on house parties to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. People who throw indoor gatherings that violate state regulations will pay a price. CBS 2's Christina Fan is live in Hoboken this noon with more. Christina?
Well, Chris, Hoboken has a robust testing system, and city leaders say it is that testing that has led them to find that a lot of rowdy house parties seem to be behind the recent surge in COVID cases. Since the start of the pandemic, Hoboken has proposed some of the strictest ordinances to combat rising COVID rates. This week, the city is on the verge of adopting another.
Our contact tracing has shown that a lot of the new incidents are being traced to house parties, and we're concerned. We want to be proactive about this.
Councilmember Phil Cohen is sponsoring a new bill that would fine residents up to $1,000 for disorderly indoor gatherings of 25 guests or more. He says with the virus on the rise in the county and state, Hoboken must do more to keep numbers low.
After leveling off around 590, 600 cases in July, we're now up around 950, 960 cases now. And recently we've had days where we've had 12, 13 positive tests in a day.
The ordinance comes as the mayor plans to sign an executive order that bars must close at midnight each night. While some think the robust rules will limit transmission,
I've noticed it in my building, yes.
It's definitely necessary. I think that we should very limited how we do this. We should be smart. We should play it smart.
Other Hoboken residents feel that city leadership is overstepping.
I would say that he's going a bit overboard. I think he's feeling a little bit like Governor Murphy and that he's trying to overextend.
And council members will be voting on this new ordinance on Thursday. If it does pass, it will likely go into effect immediately right before Halloween. Reporting live from Hoboken, New Jersey, Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. So, yeah, man, you just see right there, hey, they putting the squeeze, you know, they're starting to put the squeeze down more and more. You know, Hoboken, New Jersey is a city, you know, that is known for a lot of its bars, a lot of its partying. All right, you know, it's one of the biggest party cities of New Jersey. Okay, you got Hoboken, you got Jersey City, and as you see, they're about to start fining people up to $1,000. You know, if they get caught having house parties, you know, and they're doing all this so that when the time for that mandatory vaccination comes, all right, that they're going to tell people like, look, you can't go into these bars, you know, you can't have, you know, these parties unless you are mandatory vaccinated. You see, so this is how they're basically, you know, applying that pressure from above, pressure from below, you know, and right now you have a lot of people that are, you know, without jobs, okay, or they're like, you know, underemployed, furloughed, they're on unemployment. So that $1,000 is a very, very strong fine to be fining people in the times that we're in right now. So that's once again, that pressure from above, pressure from below. But, you know, once again, to the men and women of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, these things aren't going to affect us, man, because ultimately, you know, we're not into the surfeiting and the rioting and the banqueting. Okay, yeah, brothers might go to bars, you know, get a drink with brothers here and there, but that's not what we do in order to, you know, escape and get comfort. You know, that's what these people of this world do. They need the bars in the weekend, you know. They need, you know, because they've been working all week. Okay, so they need that time to relax and unwind. But here it is. And 12 o'clock, around 11:30, 12 o'clock is when a lot of people end up even going to the bars in the first place. But now they're saying that they possibly, which they're going to do it because these positive rates are keep going up and up. So they're going to, you know, eventually bring down the tighter restrictions. So now people that are accustomed going to the bars, you know, especially around these times, all right, the quote unquote, the holiday times, they're accustomed to going around 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's going to be closed down. All right. And that's why the scripture says right here, Ecclesiastes 12, verse 2, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Yeah, because, hey, there's not going to be any more house of feasting anymore. Okay. There's not going to be any more house parties. And if you do get caught having a house party, that you're going to get hit with a fine. And then these fines are going to turn into, mandatory isolation. All right, whether they have these contact tracers come, or whether they have the military come and grab people up that are seen having these house parties or in these house parties. However they're going to do it, this devil is going to bring that pressure, man. So it says, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. And we are the living. We are the ones that are alive, that have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because as the scriptures tells us, he that wandereth out a way of understanding is in the congregation of the dead. So this is why it's important for us to continue to watch what's going on, so that we can, be aware and be circumspect and be sober-minded. All right. Not talking sober-minded as in not, having a drink or two, but be of a sound mind to understand the climate, the climate that we're in. All right, let's get another scripture. This is the book of Amos, chapter 6, verse 3. It says, ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. Yeah, because if you were being circumspect, if you was redeeming the times, because the days are evil, you would understand, like, look, all right, now you got to move a certain way. As you've seen, because we're watching, we're being aware of what is going on, what this devil is doing, seeing how he's moving. All right, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You shouldn't be in a mindset of, well, that's not going to happen to me. Nothing's going to happen. No, man, you got to have the mindset of knowing what time it is, man. Okay. For everything, there's a season and a purpose. So you have a lot of people that are just being ignorant of what is going on. They're not watching, and they're putting far away the evil day. They're saying that, because it's about to be Thanksgiving and Halloween and all these things, that it's going to be the time to rejoice, the time to mirth, all right, time to be going in a house of feasting, when it's not. Okay, that's not the times that we're in. The Lord is shutting all that down, man. It says, and because you are not being sober-minded, you're putting far off the evil day. You're causing a seat of violence to come near. Who is the seat of violence? Esau, Edom, man. That violence is going to overtake you, man, because you're not being wise. You're not moving with wisdom. All right. It says that lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches and eat the lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stalls. Yeah. Eat, drink, and be merry. That's the spirit that these people that go into the house of feasting are in. Okay. But the wise, all right, the ones that are understanding, are laying it to heart what is going on. We're moving strategically. We're moving with wisdom, with prudence. Verse 5, it says, that chant to the sound of the viol, and invent to themselves instruments of music like David. And that's what people go to the house parties and they go to these bars to do. They chant to the sounds. They chant to the music that is playing. But the Lord is showing you that what? He is shutting it all down, man. Okay, it says that drink wine in the bowls and anoint themselves with the chief ointment, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. Okay, and with the affliction of Israel. That's why the scriptures tells us what? That set a mark. Let's get that real quick. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city and through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon them. And that mark is the Thorah, which is what? A mark, a sign of exemption from judgment. You see, the ones that are, we are the desirables. So the ones that are the undesirables, the ones that are going to the house of feasting, okay, they're not going to have this mark of exemptment from judgment. That's why it says they cause the seat of violence to come near. The wicked, the ones that are all about the partying and the BS and the banqueting and the rioting and the being drunk, overly drunken, and the surfeiting, that right there is going to cause that day to come upon them unawares, and that violence is going to overtake them, man. It says, it set a mark upon them, upon the foreheads of them that sigh and cry, the house of mourning, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, so who is that? That's starting with the prophets, man. The prophets are the one that are sighing and crying, and even the rest of the 1/3 the men, women, and children, the ones that are in the righteous spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, we are all collectively sighing and crying for all the abominations that are being done here. While you got the masses of the people, okay, 2/3, the undesirables, and the rest of these heathens, they're out here just continually in that folly state of mind, man. And that day is going to take them unawares. All right. And a lot of our people are going to get caught up in that madness because all they care about is just the pleasures of the flesh, man. All they care about is just fulfilling the lust of the flesh. Okay, but this is Amos chapter 9, verse 9. It says, "For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations." And Israel is amongst all nations, especially here in Babylon. All right, it's a melting pot of all nations here, and Israel is amongst them. It says, "Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." And who is that least grain? That is talking about the elect. Okay, even though the Lord is going to shake up the house of Israel, he's going to shake up this world, but the Lord is going to deliver the elect during this moment of shaking up, during this moment of violence, this moment of the Lord's wrath. Verse 10, "All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us." But it is, man. Okay, and because they put far off the evil day, okay, they think that evil is not going to overtake or prevent them, but it is. And this is all leading up to this. The fact that they're about to find people, okay, and they're going to continue to put on this bring this pressure, bring these draconian laws until they present, bring this chaos until they present the order, which is going to be that mandatory vaccination, which they could use that also to bring forth this chip, man, to say that, well, we have to, in order for us to know that you have gotten the vaccination, you need to take this chip. So now that you can be reinstituted in society. So now you can go to the bars, you can go to the nightlife. All right. All the goodies that this world, people are accustomed to having in this world, all the quote unquote fun. This devil is taking all that away, and he's going to give it back to you by way of what? His mandatory vaccinations and his chip, man. But what? The men and women of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we are being wise, man. We're walking circumspectly. Okay, and we're seeing what this devil is doing, man. So, I ended there, Lord willing. I just want to bring this out. It's edifying unto the elect. Call Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rachak Wadash. Till next time, Shalom.